Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? It is Thursday and another day. Hey, Shem. I need to come see you. We didn't see each other. Well, can we see each other? Well, I'll call you so we can see how we can make that happen. But today is Thursday, and it's another day. I actually went into my salon today to go check it out to make sure everything was okay, make sure everything was still in place. I am still technically closed, but you know, it's open if needs to be. So yeah, we're here making that thing happen, and I'm here every day with you guys, chit chatting and seeing what's going on. Where are you guys checking in from? Where y'all at? You know, as y'all know, I'm here in Atlanta. Oh, thank you, Gregory. I'm glad that you watched it. Hey, T. If y'all missed we had a virtual panel last night, called No Fast No Films on YouTube. So you can click on the bio on my page, and you guys can see it. It was really good. Detroit, South Carolina, Pennsylvania. This flag is, I don't know what this red and blue. I mean, I've seen the flag before, but I don't know what that is. Oh, Trinidad. That's what I thought. Trinidad. We did a movie in Trinidad, had a really good time. Hey, Keisha from my hometown, Toledo. Louisiana. All right. So today, you guys, we are going to be chatting with Mack Wilds. And he just popped into the room. Somebody bring him on. Here we go. Don't start this shit. Okay, send me a request, Mac. Because it's not working. I can't wait. I'm gonna be on after this live today. I'm gonna be on the Cut Life Live, and I want to talk to all of my salon owners, all that good stuff, because bam, there we go. I got some stuff I gotta talk about. Mac.
Yo.
How are you?
I'm well, man. Tired, but I'm good.
I understand. Well, let me do some housekeeping first. Congratulations on fatherhood.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How's that been going for you?
It's been amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been amazing. I feel like every day is a new learning experience. Like you're trying to figure out something new every day, because she's trying to figure out something new every day. Mm-hmm. Today was her trying to put everything in her mouth. So yeah, it's everything from our fingers to her fingers to the freaking covers. Like, she's trying to eat everything. She'll be in the bathtub grabbing like soap and try to. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm glad that you posted the thing from Essence yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to ask you about this, but you live a very private life.
Yes, yeah, man.
You keep things very under wraps. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, well, I want to ask him about it, but I don't know if he's really talking about it. When you post, I was like, yes, great.
Yeah.
About it. So how's your quarantine been?
It's been good, man. It's been cool. With a lot of people that I've been talking to, I think a lot of people kind of just are frustrated with, not being able to go outside, or, human contact or whatever. I have a lot of friends who like to be like, yo, we outside. I was even that guy for a while, but no, I was in the middle of shooting a show called Swagger. And we had to shut down production in the middle. We had to shut down in the middle of production, and I don't know. My daughter was born in December, so I left to start shooting. I left to start shooting in like February. So I only got a chance to spend a couple of months with her, and then I would have been out here working. So I'm actually taking all of this time, like just to be with her, but also just kind of take this time to really learn myself more so that I have more to teach her, like just constantly staying creative, learning, finding the things that I really, really deal with, that I love, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to work with you twice. I first
Mm-hmm.
met you on Dinner for Two, and
Yes, sir.
I will say that every time that I get to work with somebody like you, like a younger black guy, well, just black straight men in general, I just never know what the vibe is gonna be, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, so when we got the classes, I was like, oh, I know who this guy is. So I do my research. I was like, oh shit, how's this gonna be? And so we met here. We was like, oh shit, this is cool. Like we had a really good
Mm-hmm.
time. And you're a genuinely good guy. And I want to tell you,
Thank you, man.
thank you, that we really, all of us in the Vanity Trailer, we appreciate how you handled yourself, the way you worked with everybody. You were just a great guy. And I
Thank you,
want to
man.
appreciate that.
Thank you,
And then
man.
I worked
Thank
with
you.
you again on Tales,
Yes, sir.
which was a different type of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh man. Yeah.
which is a different type of atmosphere. Still a little different, still a good time, but this was a little different.
Yeah.
But for you, when it comes down to acting,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I met you in two different roles. So how do you go about being able to switch up from being this one person in this space and being the next person in this space and being the next person in this space? How do you work through that?
I look at all of the characters that I play as kind of like different skins to put like to jump inside of. Um, it's very much you have to treat every character like they are their own person.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I want to do is just try to figure them out. I want to figure out what we have in common. Because if me and the character don't have anything in common, there's no way that I can connect with the character, and then there's no way that I can be the character.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to find that connection first, and then kind of build on that. So, with Chris from Dinner for Two, I had to really think about just hard times in life and start thinking like, yo, if I went through some of the things that he went through, I can see how you can go on this depressive slope, and then it's so crazy, like, because then you start to go down that rabbit hole with him, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, I'm here. And as soon as you realize that you're there, you're the character.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we get to another acting question, I saw you cook some chicken last night.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about fried chicken is that it can be pretty on the outside, but you ain't cut into it. So
No.
Was it
It
all
was
the
it
way
was
cooked
good.
through?
It was all the way cooked through. It was
Okay.
all the way cooked through. I have to make sure things are extra cooked. When she was pregnant, everything had to be well done. Everything. So like I've been making sure that even still to this day I still cook things well done. Unless we cooking steak. I haven't had steak in a while, but like I have to have my steak medium.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to eat a steak correctly. Good.
Yeah.
Tahira said she was wondering if it was done. Yeah, I was like, I said, that sure look pretty. That must be
Yeah.
some real new grease.
It was exactly brand new grease.
Now you like when I went to your IMDb yesterday, I was like, oh shit, you've been in a lot of shit. Like
Yeah.
you've been on the grind doing a lot of things, and you've been in some big major things. Do you
Hmm.
feel that as an actor that you don't get the recognition that you should get as an actor?
I think that's sometimes some things that I battle with, or
Mm-hmm.
just kind of think in my head. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I sit back and then I think like I don't do this for the recognition. I do it for the art. I do it for the craft. Like I do it because I want to be I want to be a great at this. Like I want people when people think about acting or music or writing scripts or like the one guy who could do it all, my name is in that conversation. Like I want to. That's what I do it for. I don't. The recognition of just one thing doesn't doesn't fully affect me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it more so for legacy now.
I was telling one of my friends I'm going to talk to you today. He said, I see Mack Wilds as the Don Cheadle of our time.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. Don Cheadle is a beast.
Right. And, Don Cheadle's the same. He has some amazing body of work, but he just he slides under the radar, but still does amazing work.
Don Cheadle has always been one of my favorite actors, mainly because he's not necessarily somebody that you'll see in a role and be like, oh, that's Don Cheadle. You'll be like, oh, that's a dope movie. He really gets into the skin of his characters. Don Cheadle, Jeffrey Wright, these guys, these are the guys that I kind of idolize and look at what they do and be like, damn, like these are guys who are willing to go the extra mile to become these different characters every time that they're on screen. It's amazing.
Now, I would say that you are a guy for the culture. Like,
Thank you.
Like every time I see, I'm like, damn, he doing this. When you always have something kind of pushing the Black culture forward. So how do you be able to dip and move into so many different things?
A great team. No, seriously, man. Like everything is kind of, timing, of course. You gotta make sure that you have the right timing for everything. And I'm a kid from the projects, man. First and foremost, I've been a part of like a lot of the misdoings of our culture and our people. So I to sit back and just let stuff happen, I can't. I couldn't do it when I was a kid. I can't do it now. So I always have to be. I have to be very vocal. If not even for me. I have to do it for the kids back at home who don't have a voice. For the kids back at home who are fighting every day the same way that I used to. So.
Now, what brought you to acting?
Oof. I was okay.
Well, did music come first or acting came first?
I was always into music. Always into music. My dad was a singer. My grandfather was a singer. I was always around a bunch of like great music growing up. But I kind of got into acting. My older brother was an actor first. My older brother was he was doing like a couple commercials and here and there, whatever. He was like one of those weird wonderkin you only see on television. Like it's like he was walking down the block one day with my mom. Some lady seen him and was like, "Hey, you need an agent. By the way, I'm an agent." And he was from there on. He was doing TV shows, movies, whatever. Small parts, but just things that was starting to get him rolling. But he stopped very early on. It wasn't what he wanted to do. I was about 13. I think I was about 13 years old, and I was running around with my older brother and all of his older friends in the streets like I shouldn't have been. And I had a friend, rest in peace, Chungo, who passed away. He passed away, and it was kind of a wake-up call to kind of be like, yo, you're not immortal. Like I think as kids we kind of wear that we don't realize our mortality. So it was that first kind of look like, yo, we're not immortal. And I was like, yo, Ma. It was funny because right after that I went to school. Some kid was telling us about an audition. He was like, yo, I just did this audition. I got like $5,000 for doing this commercial, and every time it plays on TV I get paid. I'm like, what? I was like, I'm doing these school plays for free? Nah. I hit my mom. I was like, yo, Ma, I want to do this. I want to try this acting thing. And my mom already went through it with my older brother, so she wasn't going through it again. He kind of, it ended bad for him. So she was like, listen, if you want to do it, I'll give you money for a Metro card and some money to get some headshots, but everything else you got to do on your own. She's like, I can't do it again. She's like, but this will work for you. This will be your first step into adulthood. Like if you make it, if you do it well, you can say that nobody helped you with this. But if you don't do it, then there's nobody that you can blame but yourself. I was like, all right, cool. Took the money, went into the city, got my first little newspaper of backstage back then, and yeah, man.
Now you got all these women in here trying to Google your brother now.
I know. It's hilarious.
They like, who was the brother?
Yeah.
So your first role,
Hmm.
you got your first speaking role, your first part. What was that?
My first speaking role was Miracles Boys.
Mm-hmm.
It was Miracles Boys. It was on a network called The N at the time, or Noggin, and it was a Spike Lee's miniseries. That was the first time that I met Julito as well.
Mm-hmm. And how was that experience being able to finally get on the set? You got a speaking role. It's like now you understand. This is when you start understanding what the numbers mean on the call sheet. You like, oh, actually have a number next to my name. So how was that
Yeah.
experience? How was that experience for you?
It was crazy, man. It was nuts. It was dope because I've been on a few sets before that. Like I did like maybe a commercial and like a quick like background part on like a soap opera or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, nothing really big, nothing like this. We get on set and we go to craft service. I have my own little trailer with my clothes, everything. It felt like even at that time, like I'm like, dang, I made it,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I didn't make nothing. It was a nice little small part. I think I had like 3 lines in the entire joint, but we did it. We killed it. It was dope.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you stay? Because like I said, I've dealt with a lot of men,
Hmm.
and I dealt with divas. I dealt with people I dealt with people that but you stay very mellow, whether it's going right or wrong.
Yeah.
You never really let it get to you. You just gotta like still go with the flow. So how do you keep that same energy in the space?
uh my grandfather and my dad were always very much very stoic men. Um, my dad more than my grandfather. My grandfather's much more lively, but neither one of them will let you see him sweat. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of growing up with that mentality, and my older brother and all of his friends kind of just like with the mentality like, yo, you can't let me see you sweat. That's how it started. But then just as you grow up and you go through other things and you learn other methods like meditation, which I do a lot now, and just understanding your fellow person. uh, you start to realize a lot of times the problems that you encounter aren't your fault, and if they are your fault, there are things that you can change or fix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either you fix what you can fix, and if you can't fix it, you just sit back and you let God handle it.
Mm-hmm. Now, as you started, building momentum in your career, did you make it? Did you make it um, a conscious decision to keep your life under wraps? Because, like, Mac, I don't think you understand how hard it was to find anything about you. Like, it's like I was trying to do like, because I actually do my research before I talk to y'all, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, what? And I'm like, you can't find nothing, like other than your work.
Yeah, man.
Even on your Instagram page, you post stuff, and then you try to go back to it, it's gone. It's like
Yeah, I'm it's funny. I'm like an introverted extrovert.
Mhm.
Uh, I definitely enjoy having my life to myself because I feel like everything else is for the public. All of my art, the things that kind of speak for me, that all of that is public. So, certain, like even my daughter for a long time, I was like, nah, I gotta. When Essence came around, I talked to Essence and I was like, I, I guess,
Mhm.
it sounds dope. But nah, man, I really enjoy being able to kind of have the two sides where it's like, you know, you can be Batman, but you can also be Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
So you gotta have that, you gotta have the two sides.
And that did you find that doing your career like this, having the two separate sides, has that been beneficial in your life?
I think to a certain extent, yes. I think other times, no, as well. We uh, our community this entertainment community, it thrives off of how personal you are, or you know, even a lot of times kind of they want the drama, they want the juice, they want to know the tea for the day. And if you don't got a lot of tea, then you're not in the news. You're not top of the pops. You're not the person that they're checking for. So I think it works in my behalf, because I'm not worried about being the top of the pops, or, you know, at the top of everybody's list, unless it's about my talent. But other than that, man, you know, I let my friends talk for me. You know, I have a lot of, it's funny because all of my heroes, like the guys that I look up to, or even a lot of my friends, they are way more outspoken than I am. And like I just seen Mouse in here. Mouse is probably one of the most outspoken people I know. And I'm outspoken when it comes to certain issues. But a lot of times, yeah, I'm very much more of a introverted guy.
You let your folks speak for you.
Yeah, yeah. I let my work, I let my art, and I let my people. You know, I let my work, my art, and my people talk for me. Yeah.
So let's talk about The Wire.
Yes, sir.
So we saw that y'all did a guy reunion
Yeah, man.
for for it. And so how was that experience working on The Wire?
It was, man. I wish, it's crazy, right? I wish being 16 years old that my only focus was just not being in school. I wish I had, but I think I would have probably, there's a butterfly effect with certain things, right? Like you change one thing, everything changes. So I'm glad that it happened the way it happened, but if I could have appreciated it as much as I appreciate it now, just kind of like the level of writing, of professionalism, of just actors sharpening other actors. You know, you get on that set and it's like, if you're not good, it's not like, oh, no, we're going to cut you off. If you're not good, we're going to make sure you're good. And we're going to help, we're going to guide you in the way, that doesn't make you feel like belittled. We're going to build you up. That set was the best training grounds for me as not only as a professional in this business, but as an actor, you know, just understanding what acting is. And then even then leaving there, I didn't understand it until I looked back and was like, oh, I have all of this knowledge that I didn't realize that I have because of this. It's nuts, man. It was the best experience that I've ever had, man.
Now, when did you decide to say, so you having an acting career, everything is going good in acting, you like, you know what, I want to make an album, I want to make a song, I want to get into the studio. Like, was that always a thing for you, or did you?
Yeah, it was always a thing. Like I said, it was always music first for me, even as a kid. And then as I grew up and I got into acting first, I've always kept music in the back of my head. So I was always writing songs. I was always like writing rhymes. I was always trying to figure out how to get into a studio to record something or do this or do that. Like even during The Wire, and it's so funny that Maestro brought this story up. We talked to one of the teachers. And talked her into letting us have English credit by writing battle raps against each other. So she would let us go in our corners, write battle raps for like 10 minutes. And then the next 10 minutes of class was us battling each other, going back and forth with our 16s. It was amazing, but it kept you sharp. It kept us sharp. But I started officially doing music maybe when I moved to LA. And when I officially moved to LA to do 90210, I was about 18. I was 18. I moved to LA and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna really go for it. I got my manager at the time, Phil Thornton. He started getting me into different little writing sessions, and I started writing with other writers or writing with other artists. I was working with Warren Campbell. I worked with Faith Evans. I was working with Harold Lilly. just moving around LA, and eventually, started coming up with my own songs, man.
Okay. Now I can so I've been talking to actors and designers and people all week, well, for the past month, every day. And so I can always, if you can answer it, you can let me go ask the question or not. But we can all sit here talk about the good all the time. But I like to also talk about the times when it wasn't so good.
Yeah.
If that so is that okay with you?
Yeah, we can go there.
Okay, cool. Well, I didn't want so. I think it's that yes, we can look at your career. You've worked, you've been an actor, you've been in music, but have there been times where it was like, hey, you wasn't working and you were trying to figure out what was next and how did you deal with those things and how did you work through those times?
I think in our business, that is a constant thing that we're up against, right? That is, you never fully understand like where that next job is coming from, or where that next gig can pop up. And sometimes, you have things to kind of lean back on, but then other times you don't. So yes, I've definitely gone through those times. I've definitely gone through those days where I'm sitting back like, dang, we gotta find a lick. We have to figure something out. And it's rough. It's rough, but I think now, again, getting back into the my meditation and understanding that you can only control what you can control, and also understanding that you have to reap what you sow. Like, you always reap what you sow. So if you're putting in work, work will always beget work. So again, even in these times, like the quarantine, the only thing that I'm doing again is completely just staying creative. Like, I'm writing every day. I'm like looking at scripts. I'm like working on breaking down scripts. Like, I'm constantly working on like my acting ability, my singing ability, my writing ability, the way that I want to direct things, like how I would produce certain things, new music. Like, I'm constantly putting in work so that work will beget itself.
As when you were coming up in the industry, you were able to, because I think for me, being on the reality side of things, it was a hard pill for me to swallow, for people are looking at you and judging you and giving you a job based on you, and then you don't get a job. You're like, well, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute, you just said I was amazing. Now I don't get the job. So,
yeah, man.
So how is those things you had to also work through?
Absolutely, my bad. Absolutely, those are definitely things that I've always had to work through. I think you start to realize I'm a sports fan, right? We love watching sports, and we love watching people, even watching Michael Jordan on The Last Dance, right? He's an amazing player who puts up amazing numbers, and is like the reason why he is Michael Jordan is because you see him get on that floor every night and he performs at his highest ability every time. There's not a time that he doesn't. And because of that, we consider him the GOAT. Whereas now in this business, in music and in film, it's not fully based on how good you are. You can put up the best numbers in the world, but if nobody's checking for you, nobody's checking for you, and you have to deal with that. So it is very much you have to really, really kind of, well, for me, what I do, I just stay sharp. Like, I'm like, all right, if I feel like nobody's checking for me at this moment, there's nothing I can do to sway anybody's opinion. I'm not gonna be any one of these other celebritants and try to like figure out some way to make it pop off on social media or pop off like on TMZ or something like that to get people talking about. Nah, I'm gonna stay sharp so that the next time that you see me when I'm on your screen, I'm giving you everything that you wanted and more.
Now, what does staying sharp look like for you? Like, you know what? Like, are you forever learning? Are you
Oh
forever
yeah, yeah,
trying?
yeah, yeah. I am one of those people who con consistently believe that I'm just a teacher. I mean I'm just a student. I'm never, even if I do teach somebody, I tell everybody, listen, I can learn from you. Like I am a forever student looking to consistently learn just new ways, new things. Um, and I think that's how you stay sharp. I think the smartest man in the room is always the man that knows that he knows nothing. So I
Mm-hmm.
really I stay with that mindset.
Mm-hmm. Who? Well, what's next for you, Matt? I mean, like, because like I said, you are it's always something like the your Avadian and Sons
Hmm.
collective. You have a liquor sponsorship. You have this. You have that. So it's like you have so much. It's like
Oh
you
man,
always have something new popping up on your timeline.
yeah, man. All praises due for real. But it's the world, man. The world is up next. Making sure that my daughter grows up amazing and happy. That she stays happy, man. That little girl is something else. I got to send you pictures when we get off. But
Mm-hmm.
yo, making sure that she stays happy, making sure that my girl stays happy, and then making sure that I'm happy. Like making sure that I'm being fulfilled creatively, that I'm stimulated creatively, and that I'm constantly learning something new because I want to be able to teach my daughter at whatever age that she's at. I want to be able to teach her something new every day.
Mm-hmm. So now you said you were you were working on a project and it got before it got canceled.
Yes, yes,
Um, Now, are you in the business of creating your own projects or working behind the scenes, becoming a director?
two
Are
hundred
those
percent,
things you see? Okay.
200%. It started a few years back when I did After Hours.
Mm,
The album that I did, the last album that I did, I got a chance to create a short like a mini series with it. Each episode maybe about maybe like 15 minutes or so. But man, being behind the camera, me and my boy Greg Cali, who helped me direct it and produce it, write it too. Like it's something else, man. Being behind camera and cooking up and watching actors come to life and watch people, yo, I it has sparked something in me that now, like I said, during this quarantine, I've been starting to write scripts more. I've been writing, just kind of watching a lot of movies, getting my mind kind of into what I think would be what I want to see, like what I would want to put out there and give to the world. That's my idea. Yeah.
so last but not least, people that are on here that want to get into the business, want to elevate, just want to get to the next level.
Hmm.
What advice would you give somebody?
Whew. I say this a lot, but I feel like there's a very very big truth in this. I'm gonna give you two things for
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's on here. The first thing is to stay consistent. It sounds very cliche, I know, but if you understand that enough water droplets can crack through steel, if it's pressured in the right place and consistently stays in the right place, you just understand if this is what you want, don't go into it for the money. Don't go into it to be famous. Go into it because you love it. And if you love it, you're going to jump into it and kill. Like just keep going. That's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing. And two, understand the difference between create constructive criticism
Mm-hmm.
and someone projecting their fears on you. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we take somebody saying don't do something, or somebody saying maybe you should blah 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 blah. We take that a lot of times as like as law, as Bible, and it stops us. It kills a part of us. I want you guys to be ever creative. I would implore you guys to never stop doing what you're doing. Just stay at it. Stay at it. Don't let nobody stop you.
Well, so I want to ask you something about that last thing you just said, because because how old are you now, Matt?
I turned 30 in July, so I'll be 31 this year.
Okay, so you young guy
Hmm.
in the industry making things happen, and it is a big difference. I'm trying to give you constructive criticism and somebody that's putting their things on you.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Just trying to how long did it take you to decipher what those two are?
Oh man. Not until like mid-20s.
Mhm.
And then even then, you know, depending on who it's coming from, it'll be like, dang, but they don't want me to. A lot of times that your mother will tell you the wrong things. You got to remember that everybody's human. People don't always have the answers, Sway. But you gotta really, you gotta trust in that fire in your belly. You have to trust in that
Mhm.
fire in your belly and then follow it, man. That's the best way I can put it.
Mac, thank you so much. I know
No
you. I know
problem.
you taking time out your fatherhood, your fatherly duties, to come and chit chat with us.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to working with you again.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna write something for you. I got you.
There we go.
All
Thanks,
right,
Mac.
man. Peace.
I love having these good interviews and good conversations, these good things with good people, and Mac is one of them. So once again, thank you guys for checking in with me on this day, and we will be here tomorrow with AJ Johnson. Um, having a conversation with her and seeing what her thoughts is on that good stuff. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock with AJ Johnson. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.